Recently, Suzuki launched the Boulevard M50 in an effort to round out its power cruiser range, which at the time was topped by the similar-looking but larger displacement M90 and M109. Suzuki's mid-size cruiser looks more like its muscle-bound brothers now, thanks to the addition of the signature front cowling, fat rear fender, and the engine that's been customized with more chrome-plated pieces. With the Boulevard M50, riders fire up a 50 cubic inch or 805 cc fuel-injected 45-degree V-twin that breathes in through a dual throttle valve injection system, out through a pair of beefy slash-cut pipes. A cable-actuated clutch helps deliver the ponies to the M50's beefy 170 rear tire through a 5-speed constant mesh transmission, feeding the shaft final drive. So how does it all work out on the open road? Well, assisting us this week is a loyal viewer and adventure rider, Sharon Boyer.
Sharon, this is a brand new middleweight power cruiser from the folks at Suzuki. My first impression when I saw it was, wow, that's one heck of a color and I like it. But what was your first impression when we rolled it out this morning?
I like it. It is great. I love the color. I love the seat.
Well, normally you ride an adventure bike, so this is a complete departure for you, right?
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever ridden a lowrider. Never have I even sat on one. So this was a real experience. I sat on it, as you know, I've got really short legs, so I have an issue. Sitting on it was great, good balance, could balance it back and forth. Handlebars were just where I'd want them. I can put my feet up. Nothing was too much of a reach.
Right.
It was great.
So it fit you?
Yeah, it did.
Well, that's great, and you looked great on it. Now let's talk about the motor first of all. It's an 800 cc V-twin. What did you think of the engine?
Nice and smooth. I love the throttle. Boom, boom. I really love the sound of it.
Right.
It was great. And as far as motor, nice and smooth, started up. When you went to take off, just slick as a whistle. Mm-hmm. And you'd shift, short shifting in between. You were up in fourth gear and you'd still tootle along at 50, 60 kilometers an hour. Only 5 speeds, but nice riding.
One thing that really impressed me was just how smooth it shifted. Would you concur?
Yeah, not a problem. With the 4-stroke, you think it would be a little clunkier, but no, it was really nice and smooth.
Okay. Now it's a shaft drive motorcycle. Did you notice any shaft effect?
No, and I've never driven a shaft before, but I really like not having the chain noise and not having the shiftiness that you get with a chain.
Right. Now speaking of noise, these bikes really are all about the sound. It's very important when you have a V-twin. Couple of nice pipes out the back. What did you think of the sound of the bike?
Loved it. If you're going to ride a bike that looks this snazzy, you got to have the sound to go with it.
How about the stopping power?
Smooth. You can pull on the front brake. There's no touchiness, twitchiness to that. Just nice and smooth. You do notice the weight of the bike when you do put the brakes on.
Right.
Other than that, they were smooth. I didn't try to stop on a dime, but I didn't have an issue trying to stop at all.
Now, let's talk about paint and chrome, because these bikes are all about paint, chrome, and sound.
Yes.
So what did you think of this?
Anybody that doesn't like this paint, they're colorblind. I really like it. It's pretty. We went through some muddy sections and it didn't really get that dirty. I was surprised that it didn't throw up more mud because I had mud on my feet from sand, putting my feet down. As far as the chrome, polishes up nicely. It cleaned up really nice after we put it through its paces.
Mm-hmm. So anything disappoint you?
The gauges and no tack.
Right.
Other than that, it handled well. Slow speeds going through town, being the length it is, trying to do turnabouts on the road, you had to go pin to pin to be able to get it to move around. You had to walk at a very slow, sedate speed.
Right.
But other than that, I had no complaints about it. I really, really liked riding it. It was a good experience.
So who do you recommend this bike to? Who's going to like this bike?
Anybody that likes bright colors, as well as anybody short in stature. It fits me to a T, and I think people who are a little taller can still benefit from the ride. I wouldn't do a starting out rider, intermediate, by all means, because it's a bigger bike. It will keep up, it will go faster. Definitely an intermediate rider, and one with short stature.
Right. So when you ride back to your home north of Coburg later on this afternoon and you want to report back that you rode a cruiser, my goodness, first time on a cruiser, what's the one lasting impression?
I liked it. I want to take the seat home. I want to take the seat home. It's great. For first time on a cruiser, it was a success. It really was.
A pleasant surprise.
Very pleasant, very pleasant. I thought it would be big and cumbersome, and it's not.
Wonderful. Well, you did a great job and you looked like you were having fun.
I did. Thank you very much.
Good stuff.